Big up, big up, big up, big up. Big up to all my Reds out there. It's Liverpool 12th Man, and it's Liverpool 12th Man Show. What up, Red for Life? Marion, oh, Red's Queen in the house. Definitely. Thank you for showing up to show some love. Big up to Dustin as well. I see you as well. I am going to be doing the Liverpool Fulham preview today. It's going to be a fun little preview because I put in a bunch of little stats, or not the stats, but more so like a little information to kind of get you ready for the game, what to anticipate, and what to look for, and everything else. John Conway in the house. I see you, brother. Good to see you always, John. I think that it's going to be a very, very interesting game primarily because this is Fulham's first opportunity to get to a final, and it's a big thing for them. So it's a big thing for us too, though. This cup is our cup. That's how I reference it as, because this could be our opportunity to win our 10th League Cup. So whenever you've got some type of ownership on a cup like that, I think it's pretty safe to say that, yeah, it's your cup. So let's just rock right into this. Hope you guys are ready for this. So let's just get into this. All right. So Big Caribou Cup, huh? Big Caribou Cup, the League Cup. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Should be an interesting encounter. We kind of got a read on what we're going to be facing, I guess you could say, from the last time we saw them. That was at Anfield, though, so that does make a difference. Let's not kid ourselves. That does make a difference. So this time around, though, we're going to the Cottage. Yes, Mr. Cody, not Cody Vance, Agent Cody in Agent Cody, as I like to call it, call him Agent Cody in the house. He could be like a CIA or FBI agent or something like that if he was in America. I guess you can see him all like what's the name of it? The X-Files. Excuse me. He could be be like Fox or something like that, right? Agent Fox Mulder. But anyways, yes. Agent Cody, and there is Raul Jimenez. Look, this game is going to be interesting primarily because a lot of different things that we should be looking for here. Look, what times kickoff, everything else. I'll put a little information in here so you can make sure that you know when it is. Fulham is by the river. Marion says the River Thames on Sort After Land. Okay, that's cool. I like Marion giving a little bit of like a travel agency style like update. I appreciate that. So that if anyone looking to visit Fulham today where I'm at in America, we've got some rain here, so it is what it is. So it's a little bit more like the English weather today. But what I'm looking at here is basically giving you guys what the kickoff time is. Obviously the most notable thing, big up Brian. The most notable thing on here is the fact that we've got our referee for this match. I was talking about this with Brian yesterday, actually, is that we have Simon Hooper. I know that some people don't like to reference who we have for referees and how it affects their brains and their anticipation for the game. Look, it does for me, I'll be honest with you, because the refereeing, the PGMOL is like got some issues to basically iron out. But yes, we're gonna have the man Simon Hooper once again, the man that was the referee for our Spurs matchup, which is always a fun reminder. Our head-to-head with Fulham last time was like Fulham has 1 win, 3 wins in the last 5 games at least. Fulham has 1 win against us, 3 wins we have against them, and then we have 1 draw. Our last meeting obviously was Liverpool, or at Anfield, Liverpool versus Fulham 2-1, January 10th. And the form that they're on right now is Fulham is on a loss, win, and 2 back-to-back losses. Obviously, all those W's in a row really, really help out in in the anticipation. Oh, I know, Marion. You know why? You know what? I think the reason why everyone hates us is because when you're the best, you hate it. You hate them because you want to be them. That's why. That's at least my point. I always say, like, if you're not doing something right, then they have nothing to hate on. So obviously, we do a lot right. So, so yeah, I think that's why they hate on us. Excuse me a second. So that's just how it is. That's just how it is. Okay. Now I wanted to get into this a little bit here. This is basically how we looked against Bournemouth, our last matchup, just to kind of get a reference of where we're at with the youngsters being involved in the match. Obviously, Connor Bradley had a great game. It's really telling to see a youngster perform so well and to actually, hold his own for the most part. And big up to Dustin. Dustin gave a great stat. I'm gonna star that stat, that little fun little stat that Dustin put in, and I'm gonna circle back to bring it up in a second, Dustin, because that was a great stat that he put in there. But this is what this is basically what we look like, our form, basically. So what this is the average positioning of our players against Bournemouth. Now I get it that Bournemouth is a different team than Fulham. I'm not saying that they're going to come lined up the same way or proceed with the matchup the same way that Bournemouth did against us. But I'm just trying to say that overall shape that we want to create is in essence right in this little segment. And if anything, it's not even in this portion of the game, because this is like the first half when we didn't have any subs in. You'll see how much of a change occurred. Now look at that. You can see how grouped up and grouped in we are. You can see Diego. You can see Diaz somewhat right next to him. Nunez pressed out to the left. Elliott pressed up a little further up in the pitch. A little bit of support from Bradley. But you can see how, Curtis, Maka was doing some defensive work. And you can also see how stretched our center back pair was. And then obviously we have Gomez right here on the left of Cujo. But in that second half, we kind of pressed a different progress with our pressure. And what I mean by pressed a different progress with our pressure is that you also notice that 49, that's because that was Kaid that's he really didn't get that much of playing time. He was in there for all of a minute or two. So let's see. What were you saying, Marion? No one today. I'm actually babysitting tonight, trying to watch 12th Man. Appreciate that, Marion. Appreciate that. Definitely. Teach one, each one, right? So this is what we look like though against Bournemouth when we got those subs in there. You can see that it all of a sudden changed dramatically. Agent Cody, as I had on the first pick, basically Agent Cody pressed in and was like somewhat of almost like a shadow striker in essence, and it made a difference in our lineup. You can really see a difference. You see Gravenberch pressed onto the right, Maka a little bit further extended. Or having a little bit more space to extend into the offensive pitch, into the second, if not third, middle third, into the final third. You see that this really became what we were looking at getting. Okay, and you can also see how much of a difference it made. As in everything just changed. We had all these guys on the left hand side, but a lot of central progress and everything else, which is really, really good for us to do. Now, here's what we looked like when we faced Fulham last time at Anfield. Okay, this is how we came out initially in that game. I know we switched it up even in that game as well, but this is how we initially went out to go up against them. We had Diaz on the left, Diego in the middle, Harvey on the right. Harvey on the right didn't produce exactly what we wanted it to produce. even though I'm not saying that Harvey can't produce on the right wing. I'm just saying that he didn't really get it accomplished and done on the right wing. So, Red Bird, I see you, brother. And we also had Curtis Jones. We had Macca, Gravenberch, and then we had a little bit of your basic your four in the back, which was Gomez, Virgil, Ibu, and then Bradley, and obviously we had we had Kelleher in net. This is what we looked like last time against them at Anfield, at least. We got a goal from Curtis. It doesn't have the other goal that we got in the game, but we ended up, doing a little work in that game. I think that, we got hit in the mouth hard. Punched in the mouth hard by Willian on that surprise goal that put us on the back step. But other than that, I think that we did control that game once the second half really kicked in and we got those subs involved in the game. So this is my predicted lineup for Fulham for tomorrow. Okay. So this is the lineup I see for us tomorrow. I see, again, somewhat very similar to what they, from what we did exactly. Excuse me. This is our lineup. Excuse me. Or this is their lineup. I don't know why I have Nunez in there for some reason. Nunez does not play for them. This should be Pereira in here. So let me make sure that that's not what we want to see. Okay, we do not want to see Nunez against us. But but yes, where you see Nunez should be Pereira. Andreas Pereira should be right here in the middle here. Raul most likely be their striker. Let's see. No worries, Dustin. No worries, Dustin. Thank you for joining, though. By the way, thank you for showing love. And Dustin, I'm gonna include your stat, your graph or your stat earlier. So thank you for including that. By the way. And Kelleher's in there too. I got you. Jeez, I'm all over the place with it. I didn't switch all the guys up. My fault. My bad. Leno would start for them as well. Let me make sure I got all the guys in there that will start for them, other than those two in the middle. Yes, so Kelleher is not going to start for him. Nunez is not going to start for him, obviously, but Pereira will start with him in the middle. They'll have Leno in their keeper position, and then what they'll do is they'll probably have this back four, and then they'll have Reed and Paulina as their pivots in the holding spots. They'll have again Willian and Pereira, and if anything like because for the most part, let me just show you this one. It'll be a little easier. They'll have let's see. Yes, they'll have basically the same. I expect them to have the same lineup that they came out against us at Anfield. That's my point. My point is they'll basically have this lineup coming out against us that they had at Anfield to represent for them at the Cottage. Basically, that's what I really wanted to make sure, because I don't want to get anyone thinking that I think Nunez is going to turn coat and go to Fulham, and I don't think Kelleher is going to do the same either. So let's go with this now. Against us, this is what we had. This is what we saw them do against us in that Fulham game where they did end up scoring against us. This is the form they had. You can see definitely more shape, more pressed. Not much progress. They sat back, didn't really progress too often. Were looking to hit us on the counter. Didn't necessarily want to control or have possession. Wasn't their main concern or anything like that. You can see the average positioning of them on on the pitch. But here's what they did with the subs. You can certainly see that it really didn't make much of a difference, other than excuse me, other than their number 10 moving up a little bit further up the pitch and getting involved in some getting involved. I forget who number 10 is for them, for their team, because number 10 was a sub, I believe, for them. But that's basically what you saw them do, which is they hit us a little bit more with their progress and everything else. I'm going to give two caveats to this. I have two predicted lineups. One that I think Klopp's going to do, and one that I would like to kind of see, and one that I would like to, and there's one that I predict that I think Klopp is going to really, really get involved with. And the reason why I do this is the reason why I think it's going to go with this is that obviously this is what I think I would like to see at least, is that I would like to see Elliott again get the opportunity to play against Fulham. It's a team that he has history with. It's also a team that a crowd that's definitely going to be on the back of Elliott, considering that they booed every time he touched the ball at Anfield. You can only imagine what they're going to do at the Cottage. But I'd like to see Elliott get a chance to get redemption from his performance, which was like somewhat average, I guess you could say, a little bit lackluster for a lot of people out there, especially Ross the Crab, who was very, very was very on top of Elliott yesterday. So Gravenberch, I'd like to see get this start, because I think that obviously with Curtis Jones pulling up a little bit lame, I know that he could be possibly available for this comp, but I don't want to press. I don't want to push anyone to the extreme. I don't want to push the limits with Elliott, or excuse me, with Cujo. So I'd like to see Gravenberch start this game. I want to see McAllister start as well. I'm going to circle back on that point as well. I kind of wanted to see this lineup in that I would like to see Kwanzaa get a start. I get that Konate has played so well. I want to definitely understand how or see them definitely rotate a little bit more so, because it's going to be a difficult campaign, being that we're on four fronts. And with that said, I really wouldn't mind to see Joe Gomez, and big up to Joe Gomez. I don't know if you guys saw last night, but or last night for me, I think it was early morning for you guys in the UK. Joe Gomez, they had the This Is Liverpool podcast, I think it's called, and they do like I said, they do it where it's two presenters, one like a former legend, and then sitting down with a presentator, and then they spoke with Joey G. Joey G was the guy that got interviewed, and it was very, very cool to see. He got into his bouts with injuries, his new role, his new role with the team. Sorry about this. His new role with the team. And then he also got in about the fact that he is looking to score, and that is on his mind, and that he does want to make it happen this year. And yeah. And yeah, sorry about that. Throat's a little dry here. But Joey G, it was a really good interview. Really good interview. Red for Life. Yeah, you saw it too, Red for Life. Really good interview. It was cool. It was like, I know I'm a little bit animated right now, but Joey G was talking very softly and controlled and doing like a book review. It felt like, and that's how Joey G was talking. It was really, really like, you could almost like, if you weren't watching it, you probably could have like fallen asleep to listening to how laid back and cool and collected he was. And it's been basically somewhat reminiscent of his play this year, which is really, really great to see. I'm so happy for Joey G. A lot of people gave up on Joey G. A lot of people, or not a lot of people, but there were some people even out there that were not necessarily his biggest fans. But I'm glad to see that Joey G is making amends this year and really contributing and really being the reason why he's the most tenured Red, and the reason why we gave him a 5 or 6 year extension or something like that. Really makes a difference. Big up JK, or JC, I should say, JC. So this is why I'd like to see it. But why I'm saying this about Joey G is I'd like to see him on the right, and I'd like to see Owen Beck get a start. I know that Connor Bradley had a great start. I'm not saying this is not a knock against him at all. It's not a ploy to say, oh, he didn't have a good game or he's not capable. Not at all. Not at all. But what it is saying is that I would like to see, again, rotation, because considering the number of injuries that this team has, we really could use it. We really need rotation. And I think Owen Beck is ready and capable of playing left back, to be honest with you. I think that he is a talent, and I think he's definitely a future player for us. Big up Cedric in the house. I see you, Cedric. Big up. Appreciate you joining us from work. That's what's up. That's true red proper red mentality there. I appreciate that. And Andy, big up, Andy. How you doing, brother? Yeah, Darwin Núñez to play on the right wing. That'd be interesting. That'd be very interesting. I haven't really seen him necessarily be pushed to the right wing too often, to be honest with you, in this system for Klopp. But this is just my predict. This is what I would like to see. This is my prediction. Like, as in, if Jurgen does, which he does sometimes, I think Jurgen does watch some of these commentators or listen to some of us sometimes, because Jurgen was answering my texts against that last matchup. I mean, like, I was like calling all these different, like, there's the subs and like, you know, where we got to move these players in positions, and he was doing it, and I was like, that's my Kaiser. He's got me on that. He's got my text messages coming through, and he knows the daily. But this is what I'd like to see. And there's a reason why I said Maka in the middle again. One great thing about Maka in this Bournemouth game, this is his numbers against Bournemouth. 96 touches, 87% passing accuracy, 61 out of 70 passes completed, 15 ball recoveries, 12 ground duels, 9 tackles won, 5 long balls completed, 4 key passes. That is a great game. And that is something of what I'm saying about this man right here, Maka, really rounding into form, really making that number 6, that holding role his own, even if he doesn't. He's saying, you know what, even if I'm not going to have a pivot pair like he did at Brighton, really great game. I mean, like, this shows that this is possibly, like, I said that City was possibly one of his breakout games, and most likely was one of his better, if not his best game played at the 6. This game right here shows that this was his best game, I think. And that's the reason why, like, I know he's often not going to get that man of the match coverage, but I think that he deserved it in this match, to be honest with you. Against Bournemouth, I thought he deserved it. Stellar play. Stellar play, for sure. But, oh, man, so here we go. So this was our average positioning against Fulham when we last played them. You can definitely see this is when we had Diego in the middle, and we had Cody on the right side, and we had Diaz on the left. Again, this is not my what I said earlier is not a knock, because this is what I think Klopp's going to do is not a knock on any player, because if anything, what you saw and where we made a difference was when we got those subs involved. When we got Darwin on the pitch, it was too much for Fulham to handle, I think, and he made such a difference. And what you saw was with Diego playing again that shadow striker, and then more so having Darwin play that central striker position, it made the world of difference. As you can see in this one, by having Darwin on the pitch and having Diaz and Cody on the pitch at the same time, you present a front where you'll have Agent Cody on the right, that he can fill in that right wing position if necessary. You can have Diaz on the left playing more in his natural position, and then you'll have Diego, and you have possibly one of the best finishers on our team, and then you have Núñez, who just brings the noise, brings the ruckus, you know. He's like Onyx. I don't know if you guys remember that one. I don't know. That's maybe dating some people right there, but that's like an old 90s play. Onyx was that crew back in the day. Very hardcore rap band, hip hop / rap, I guess you call it. But yeah, sticky fingers for nothing. Pause on that one, right? Anyway, this is the lineup I think Klopp is going to go with. This is the lineup I think he's going to go with. I think he's going to go with Cody on the right. I think he'll go with Nunez on the left. I think he'll go with Diego in the center. I think that you got to have these two guys involved in the game somehow, some way, in some fashion, simply because yes, Retro Star. If Retro Star and Sticky Fingers. Onyx was that band, man. Onyx was that group. Boys Make Noise. But Diego in the middle, like I said, Nunez on the left. I think he'll put Cody on the right. I also think that you'll have Elliott, which I would like to see is more so is have Elliott as a right mid. It's not that I don't think that Elliott can't play the right wing. It's just at this moment, I think that we just need him as a right midfielder. Without Dom in that right midfield position, I don't want to see Cody trying to hold down right mid. I don't necessarily even want to see Gravenberch holding down right mid, which I'm not saying is impossible or not unlikely or an impossibility to see. I just want to see who the F are Onyx. Oh, don't say that. Honesty. Don't. You're already on YouTube after this broadcast. After this broadcast, exactly. Red for Life. Hit put in slam. Put Onyx -slam and let the boys be boys. You know what I mean? And you'll know what Onyx is all about. Onyx was that guy. Onyx was that group. Onyx was definitely that group. They brought a lot of you want to talk about chaos and ruckus? That was Onyx. Onyx was Onyx is Darwin Nunez if Darwin Nunez was a rap band. So anyway, yeah. So I see this as being the structure we're gonna do. I think Gomez will be on the left. I think Virgil, Konate, and then Bradley make that same back four, bring Kelleher in goal for us. And, you guys always, as always, tell me what you guys think is going to be yours. What's going to be your predictions for the lineup tomorrow, or just tell me what you think you're going to see. You can say, this is my predicted, or you can say this is what I predict Klopp to do. Either or. I'd like to see what you guys think about it, so I can make that definite distinction between the two. But yeah, oh, stop it, Red for Life. They don't know. Judgment Day wasn't even that great of a movie. It wasn't even that great of a movie, but oh man, the combos on that, yeah, were great. Brian, I remember Brian was telling me some of the bands he likes. I think Dinosaur Jr. did a collab on that Judgment Day soundtrack because it was like all hip hop and hip hop meets rock and roll, and so there was just like a whole. There were like some crazy combos where you're just like, whoa! And I'm talking about like rock, not like There were like one or two rock bands in there, but I'm talking about like almost heavy metal. So there were some heavy metal bands in there that were just like, yeah, it was pretty much like he's saying Anthrax and Cypress Hill. Yeah, there were some great combos on that album. But yeah, so this is the lineup. I'd love to see what you guys think. I'd love to see what you guys think about what I think Klopp's going to bring out in his lineup. This is at least the lineup that I think Klopp is going to do with his lineup. If you want to critique my lineup that I think or my lineup that I would do if Klopp is watching this and he needs a suggestion or two as to how to go with it. I'd love to see how you guys think about it. Let me see what you have to say. Because this is the result ultimately that we want to see. Once again, we want to see Agent Cody giving a salute to the crowd, to the faithful that follows the Reds to the Craven Cottage. Excuse me. Yes, that's how we want to see it tomorrow for sure. Big up Agent Cody. So this is how and what I'm expecting. Let me see what you guys have to say about the game yourselves, and then we can also answer some questions as well. If you guys have any questions or anything that you want to say or anything that you want to get off your chest, I am always open to listen. Rushdie 27. Rushdie, how you doing? My friend? Definitely pick up my red. He says, good evening. He says, I think Allison could play this game in Kelleher versus Norwich at Anfield on the weekend. That's not a bad shout. It's not a bad shout. I would like to just see, excuse me, I'd like to see Kelleher get to start in both of those matches, to be honest with you. Give Ali a much needed rest. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I wouldn't mind seeing that at all. What else? Yeah, I told you how Andy wanted to see Nunez on the right wing, which is cool. I don't necessarily see him going there, but I mean, like, but yeah. Red for life. Yeah, and again, it's always good. Let me just say this real quick. It's always good to have your favorites from your era that you grew up in, like whatever era you grew up. If you're a 90s baby, or if you're, an 80s baby, 70s, 60s, 2000s baby, I don't know, whatever it is that you are, okay? A 2010 baby, I don't know. I would make you like 13, I think I said 14. But anyway, let's go more like 2000s, okay? So like, but if you are, I always suggest, listen to the music look at the music that you listen to, and then investigate where their influences were from. You know what I mean? Like, figure out, like, find, like, maybe like kind of get in depth with the bands or the performers, and see what their influences growing up were, or see who they try to emulate in their music. Or, I know some people might say, oh, well, they're a product of themselves. No musician, no artist is ever a product of themselves per se, pretty much never that case. Almost always do you see the little hints or essences of something from the past that influenced them in who they are. And I know, because I've asked artists, sometimes I ask other artists that I deal with, I asked them, well, who's your influence? Who? And then some will say, oh, well, I don't know. I get asked that question all the time. And I go, yeah, well, we all have influences, whether they're cognitive or not, but, and then you'll see what it is. And you'll maybe enlighten yourself to new music, new experiences. It's such a fun time to do, I think, personally, because look, there's so many bands out there, so many groups out there that I've like, just found out simply because you're listening to, I don't know, you're watching a movie and you hear a song in it, and it's like, I've never heard that song before, but I like it. And then you investigate it and you find out it's like from 1968 or something, and it's like, wow, you might not have been born at that time, but yet it's still a pretty cool song. That's how I see it. And when it comes to hip hop, 90s era possibly is referenced as being the golden era of hip hop for a reason. It really is. And I'm not saying that because it's one of my favorite eras. It's just, there's so much influence. There's so much of great influence and creativity that's involved in the 90s. And you can also see it because it is a big product of not necessarily the 80s, but more so the 70s, which was like another amazing era for football, for Liverpool especially, but for music in general. So I know I got in a little bit of a tangent there, sorry about that. Philly, Liverpool FC, representing the East Coast. What is up? Big up, Stefano. Good to see you. Michael Corleone. onto rap groups doesn't Jedi Mind Tricks was my Philip. They're from Pennsylvania, East Coast, definitely. Well, technically East Coast, because Pennsylvania doesn't touch the East Coast, but all the same, you know what I mean. Philly's close enough. Philly often gets referenced as being on the East Coast. Barry, big up Barry. Tupac was the man for sure. A lot of good. I mean, yeah, it's something about music. Brian said it best when we were having a chat. There's something about music that just, is a unifier in a sense. It can make you. It can definitely wash away the tears, or at least allow for, or maybe even sometimes it brings back the tears. Holding back the tears. I'm not gonna sing that song. That's like that's some like I think that's like who is that by? Holding back the tears. All right, enough. I'm not singing. You're not gonna get it. I think it's like fear for I forget the name of that song. It's the Fear for Children. Or no, not Fear for Children. It was an 80s band, I think. Anyway, I'm getting way too much on a tangent, having way too much fun talking music here with you guys. Stefano says this. He says the team looks fair. Not much more we can do with the injury list. Our injury list is so bad, Stefano. So bad. I looked at that recently. I saw the people that we have listed as not being available, and it almost makes you want to cry at times. I mean, it is so bad. I agree with you on that. Let's see. What else do we have to say? He's saying, I used to listen to JMT. That was hardcore stuff. Philly Liverpool says 90s baby, Jay-Z, P. Diddy. Yeah, there you go. Good taste, red for life, bro. What else do we have here? Says the 90s was the best era of everything, music and sports. Okay. Brian says, and most of hip hop is samples, especially the beats. You know what, Brian? A lot of it was, but one of the reasons why I say the 90s was a great era of hip hop is because of bands like The Roots. And with The Roots, who are from Philadelphia, big up to Philly Liverpool FC's in the house. The Roots were from Philadelphia, and if you guys don't know who the Roots are, the Roots. So the Tonight Show. I don't know if you get the Tonight Show or not in the UK, but the Tonight Show used to be by Johnny Carson. Used to have a show called the Tonight Show, and now it's by I forget. I don't watch it now, but all the same, there's the Tonight Show. The band for the Tonight Show is the Roots. The Roots are the band. The band for the show, and but the reason why I bring up the Roots is because with the Roots were a band. They're an actual band that performed, like keys, guitar, everything, and drummer obviously Questlove, and basically why I'm bringing that up is because that era of hip hop brought about somewhat more of a transition from just an MC and a DJ and being a rap group. It became almost like, now we have a band, we have a hip hop MC, but there's a band performing behind you. And most notably, why I'm bringing that up is because if you ever got to go see Jay-Z or Diggable Planets or US3 or if you want to go see Guru from Gangstar when he did his Jazzmatazz style stuff, it all became now a reemergence of bands involved behind them when they performed. And that was like a new era of hip hop, because before it was just MCs, a DJ, and like Brian's saying, a lot of samples, a lot of sampled beats. But now they were starting to create the music themselves. If not take the samples, but at least play them as a live performance, a live band behind them as well. Little bit of history there for you. I know, maybe a little too much. Hopefully not. Barry says Tupac was the man. He really was, Barry. He really was. He says honestly, but you listening to a lot of Latin artists like Residente, Archangel, Daddy Yankee, and The guy with who's invented the cook out, in my opinion, one of the greatest. I got you. Eminem. Eminem is that guy. He represents 8 Mile for sure, but he's taking it way past 8 Mile nowadays. Eminem is an incredible rapper. These days, I'm more. This is Red for Life saying these days he's more into the older rock music. New hip hop isn't doing it for him. He says he's 90s hip hop, boot camp click. Excuse me, Wu Tang, Mobb Deep, MOP was that there. Hydro, an old rock like Led Zeppelin. Oh, of course, Led Zeppelin. He says Zeppelin, but Led Zeppelin, Rolling Stones, the Beatles, CCR. Yes, definitely. Because that's not CCR is not Crosby, Stills and Nash. CCR is who's CCR? I probably once you say it, I'll know who you're talking about. But because it's not Crosby, Stills and Nash. You have to tell me who CCR is. P Diddy. PD is the worst. Simply Red. That's what it was. Thank you, Red for Life. I knew it. I could not remember. Simply Red. The Holding Back the Tears. That song. Yeah. Brian says Simply Red too. Yeah. See, I got love. That's like, I think that's the 80s too, right? Am I right, Brian and Red for Life? I think that's the 80s. I keep holding on. Yeah, that song. There you go. There you go. Well, you guys got a little 12-man like 12-man karaoke here, I guess. Let's see. This might be controversial. Says 12th man, since you are from Philly, what's your opinion on Meek Mill? His intros always go crazy. Meek Mill, for me, is a good artist, but a lot of people dislike him. Are you kidding me? Dreams and Nightmares, by the way, is you talk about one of the hardest hitting songs. Dreams and Nightmares is one of those turn up songs, especially in the club. Oh, it is an absolute banger. And I'm talking about a banger. Like, if you want to, it's one of those, like, the Dreams and Nightmares, it's just that. The dream is just like very chill, very calm, collected. It's almost like you're listening to an R&B song, and then all of a sudden it's just like Thor came out of there, like, like on some Zeppelin settings, in that, what was it? Ragnarok. Thor and Ragnarok scene when they did like one of the big fights and like, oh, that's that song, that is what Dreams and Nightmares is for sure. UK artist, bro, the Ginger Ninja, Simply Red. Yeah, the Ginger Ninja. I got you. Oh man, Ed Sheeran might be making a run. Is like the new Ginger Ninja. I guess, I don't know. He says our injury list so bad, but we're still in first. Yup. Boys to Men. Oh wow, trying to bring it back. Motown Philly's back again. Let's see. Rush Manova. Oh yeah, Rush Manova. That's yeah. Good stuff right there. Good stuff. I mean, I like Stormzy too. There's a bunch of like. I listen to a lot of UK. One of the best things to happen to UK, at least for UK rap currently right now, was like, Top Boy and stuff like that, because now it's bringing a lot of that UK rap to the shores of America, basically, because like a lot of times there's a lot of I'm super into like being like, a global guy, but yeah, UK rap is dope. I like UK rap, by the way. He says I just met the back in the day. Oh, okay. He says Brian says he just meant that back in the day a lot of samples would be from classic songs. He's spot on about that are a great gateway into other bands, like you were saying earlier. That's well said. And that's what I was getting at too. You're absolutely right about that. For sure. let's get back into it. So much. It's like you just met. See what I mean by music? Music's so great. It's a unifier, man. J. Rue the Damager for sure. Mobb Deep, Loon, Pete Rock, CL Smooth. Yes, Pete Rock and CL Smooth. Will they reminisce over you? That's the best question. It's a really great question. So deep with that. Oh, Marion, how can you not love Boyz II Men? How could you not? Red for Life also says Pete Rock and CL Smooth. Yes, classic, absolute classic. Great days. Falling behind here. KJ, big up. We're just reminiscing. So many. It's like you just mentioned. Everyone loves music. I love it. 8 Mile was great. Says Black Thought is so cold, bruh. Bars for this, his freestyle, his song featuring Eminem called Go listen to it. You will see what a true rapper is. He's so underrated. Yeah. Oh, he's deep, spits some lyrical, spits some real lyrical. Brian says, as a white Irish kid from the 90s, my hip hop knowledge is pretty weak, to be honest. It's all good, brother. It's all good. Yes, next level. The saxophone was next level in that. Credence. My fault. That's what Creedence Clearwater Revival. My bad, Red for Life. That's why. I'm sorry. Because CCR, I got you. Because they don't go CCWR. It's not called that. You're so right. I'm sorry about that. Let's see. Black Thought, Jadakiss are so underrated. Absolutely are. Check Straighten It Out by Pete Rock. Oh, okay. 80s worst band ever. Oh wow, you're gonna hit Simply Red in the face. You can't hit the Ginger Ninja as someone called. As someone referenced them earlier. You can't hit the Ginger Ninja in the face like that, Brian. Show respect to Simply Red. Lead singer is a massive United fan. Oh well, then that makes a different story. That makes a totally different story. And a total creep. Oh, no worries on that. He says, have it, bro, blah, 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 blah. He says, have all the old CDs and the instrumental, the instrumentals. That's cool. Big up, KJ, big up. And he's saying, KJ is also saying big up to the chat as well. Let's see. I'm trying to get through all your comments as possible. Trying to make sure I include everything. There's some really great music out there. And if anything, you know what? Hey, you know what's great about this little reminisce? Because I mean, it's only 48 minutes on the clock here. You know what's really great about this is that, hey, there's probably some band, some group, some artist, some song that someone's mentioned here, and you possibly have heard about it but never really investigated it. Maybe it could be your introduction to going and hitting, like, just doing a quick search and saying, oh, I wonder what they're talking about, and listening to what it is. As Brian says, anyone who likes Eminem should listen to I Got the by Labi Sifre. You'll get a very interesting surprise 2 minutes in. Okay, I'll check that out. Excuse me. My favorite rapper from the 90s? Ooh. That's a good question. You have to give me a second to think about that one. I don't know off the top of my head, to be honest. There's so many rappers from the 90s that were so good. Says, definitely missed that style for sure. Along with the Roots, like 12 said, some funk for real. KJ says, UK has always been good, but you've missed out on the golden era as it was real rap back then, being less mainstream. Okay. You'll have to tell me what for those in the UK then that listen to hip hop or into UK rap, what would you say is the golden era of UK rap? Because I know that, rap was born in America, but UK rap has certainly progressed and made it their own, I mean, like, just keeping it 100. I mean, there's some hip hop artists out there that like I said, Stormzy as earlier, H, that the young lad H, I listen to him, some good stuff. I know he's a little bit of a heartthrob for the girls out there in the UK. Oh, of course, yes. That's an absolute classic. Absolute classic. Red for Life, absolute classic. Yeah, we do need to do a music show for sure. I'm down with that. It'd be great. And I would love to get a music show where we do either we just do a collective and we have like, just a couple of guys, a couple of representations, guys or girls, doesn't matter. A couple of representations of different perspectives, some rock and roll lovers, some hip hop lovers, some reggae lovers, shoot, like just I'm not saying I want to get country lovers on here or not, but like we'll at least go with those three, maybe funk, jazz, that kind of stuff would be good. Let's see. It says red for life, Black Moon arising. I personally love Free. I was listening to Wishing Well. That's Terrence Trent D'Arby, right? And then Teddy Pendergrass. Oh, Teddy Pendergrass. That's you gotta watch yourself with that. Teddy Pendergrass is like, especially for the more mature audience, Teddy Pendergrass is like the baby making music. Yes. Okay, so J. Ray the Damager is so dope, man. I love J. Ray the Damager. Great artist. So much music out there. So much music. All right, let's see. M. Tarnizzi is saying greetings. Personally, not only I'm an advocate of Korea, but I'm into K-pop quite recently. Okay, I got you. A little K-pop. There's a little K-pop that I mess with. There's definitely a little K-pop that I mess with. I'm open to it. Big up M. Tarnizzi. No shame in the game. No shame in the game. KJ says the golden era for UK hip hop was 2004 to 2011. Oh, okay. I'll have to check out that decade then. 2004 to 2000, basically 2011, 2012. I'm gonna check out that decade and see what artists were really popping during that decade. Says I'm a big Tom McDonald and Adam Calhoun fan. One's Canadian, the other is American. That's very, very interesting. I'm gonna have to definitely check out those guys. Redbird. There are some groups that I do listen to from Canada. Obviously, Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber's from Canada. There you go. Represent Canada to the fullest. Justin Bieber, even though he got brought in by some of Atlanta's greatest. But Usher and the likes brought him to Hot Atlanta and gave him his little bit of flair. But yeah, Justin Bieber, yeah, Canadian, born and raised. Barry, come on, man, come on, definitely. Garth Brooks. I mess with Garth Brooks because I got ties to West Virginia. So like yeah, Garth Brooks is that guy. Definitely. Garth Brooks is that guy. There's a song that after the games, after the American football games at least, for my college, there's a lot of Garth Brooks songs. Or there's some Garth Friends in Low Places is basically the song that we would sing or would be sung, okay? Friends in Low Places. So if you guys are out there, I know country's not everyone's shtick, but Friends in Low Places by Garth Brooks, possibly one of my favorite songs by him. So yeah. Let's see. Let's see. And Marion, you're not old at all. You're young. You're young at heart. That's all that matters. Redbird can't stand Justin Bieber. I got you on that. I got you. The Rascals were a good Canadian hip hop group. Oh, okay. The Rascals were good. I mean, if you want some cool, how about I throw in like you could go with Velvet Underground. You could go. They're not Canadian, but talking about some good, they're not hip hop either, but, we want to talk about some real good groups. Velvet Underground was a really good group. The Ramones. I don't know if you guys are into the Ramones. Maybe even like, what's great, and this is why, like, Beastie Boys. I don't know if you guys are into Beastie Boys or not. I know that is essence of the 90s. Certainly of the 90s for certain is the Beastie Boys. You got to fight for your right, basically. But Beastie Boys, if you're into that and you're into rock and roll, as some of you guys said you were, Beastie Boys used to do, look up Cookie Puss. Okay, that's the name of a cake. Before anyone goes any further with that, okay, it's the name of a cake that a ice cream company here in America used to make, and that was the name of the album. That's when Beastie Boys were like a punk band, but a little bit more punk, than hip hop, and then they emerged into a hip hop band. Beastie Boys are that group for me. I love Beastie Boys. Absolutely love Beastie Boys. Rest in peace, MCA, for sure. Rest in peace. Let's see. Yeah, Terrence Trent D'Arby, absolute legend, for sure. Definitely. There was another. I'm trying to think. There was another group, another band I used to love. Trying to think of. It's technically hip hop. It's like, it'll come to me. I'll pick it up in a second. So let's see. I like the East Coast, West Coast, old school. KJ says, yeah, I know. Oh wow, Brian, the Velvet Underground are in his top 3. A groundbreaking band, an absolute groundbreaking band. And I mean, like, the Velvet Underground doesn't have like some, incredibly like Billboard charting discography. They don't have necessarily that, but the songs that it's just more so for me. It was like, it's almost like here's something again, an artist that I didn't grow up on, but an artist that I respect, like Frank Zappa. Frank Zappa is like just one of those artists that you're just like, whoa, just an incredible artist. Another band out there, Primus. I love Primus. I love My Name Is Mud. One of the like the Primus. She's one of the best bass guitarists, I guess you call it that, right? One of the best bassists I've ever heard in my life. Like, Primus is incredibly talented. Wow. Who else? There's another. Isn't I think he is. I don't want to put it out there. I don't want to say not be right. Yeah, Primus is awesome. Primus is awesome. I have a question from Honesty. I'm a 90s. KJ says he's a 90s baby, so I'm limited with knowledge apart from those he likes. I got you. But even as a 90s baby, check out. I mean, what's funny about it is that they say that when your mother is pregnant with you, the music that she's listening to has, even when you're in the womb, has an effect and can have subtle tones on, like, the development and like what, it's just something about you. It's like kind of like that early vibe. I'm not saying there's some science behind it or not, but it's just very interesting. And like, when you're young, whether you're 3, 4, 5 years old, there's songs and music in that era that you might have been so young and not really be cognitive of, but for some reason you have a connection to it simply because it was present it was present amongst you. You know what I mean? That's at least my perception. That's why there's songs that, like, I remember my parents would listen to, whether it's driving home, because my grandmother used to live in Philadelphia, like driving home from my grandmother's house, visiting my grandmother with my mom, and whatever songs, obviously, Marion spoke about Teddy Pendergrass, Luther Vandross, like songs like that are just like not necessarily the songs that I have queued up on my playlist, but songs that you appreciate, Earth, Wind and Fire, like those songs that you really do appreciate. The songs you hear, I always say the songs you hear at weddings, there's always those songs you hear at weddings that are just timeless. They go from different eras. And at weddings, you're going to hear a lot of different songs simply because you're going to hear songs that get everyone up to dance, not just what's currently popular. You hear songs that make everyone get up to dance. It is what it is. Positive K. Exactly. Positive K, Grand Poobah, One for All, you know what I mean? Brand Nubian. Gotta love that. Brand Nubian was that band, dog. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Slick Rick. Jeez, I'm trying to think of who else. There was another. It's sad that I'm going blank on the name of them. Let me see if I can find the name of this certain artist. What was it called? Anyway. Criss Cross, yeah. Tracy Chapman, yeah. She's got a fast car. She does. And that song was incredibly important for her career, for sure. She's got a fast car. Two Live Crew could get me canceled, Red for Life. Even now, Two Live Crew could get me canceled. I'll tell you that much. Because Two Live Crew was crazy. Oh, you know who I like, KJ? And he's a new artist in UK, is Central C. I like Central C. I do like Central C. I like who else do I like? I'm trying to think of I'm trying to find. There's one. It's gonna make me mad if I don't find it. That's why I'm looking for this particular artist just to throw it out there for you guys. Yeah, Roots is talented. Roots is talented. Yeah, Band in America. Yeah. Pick one. I Got 5 on it or No Diggity by Blackstreet. Ooh. That's a good one. I'm gonna go. I Got 5 on it. I'm gonna. I got 5 on it. No Diggity is just, yeah. No Diggity is an incredible song too, though. That's a tough one. That's a real tough one. Lil Sims, I like. I like MIA. I know she's controversial. I like Skepta. Oh man, what was the name of that one artist? That's so sad that I'm going to go blank on Kano. Kano is good too. Dizzy Rascal. Who else? Lot of good UK. He says, let's see, Central C is good, to be honest, but these new wave artists are actually no better than the generation before them. They had less exposure. I understand that completely. I mean, a lot of these UK rappers are going to have to understand that the reason why they're relevant, I guess you could say, is because of those that came before, or those that went before them. And yeah, it does make a difference. I can't believe I'm going blank on this artist, and it's gonna make me mad. Backstreet Boys, S Club, 7 Blue, they were all good too. Yeah, they were all good. Let's go. So it's 1:05. So we're past the hour mark here. I wanted to talk about what you guys think is going to be your score predictions. I saw one score prediction earlier. I think it was 3-1, I want to say. That's a lot. That's a big. Brian had it as being 3-1. What's your score predictions? Who do you guys think is going to score in this one? I'd love to see who you guys think is going to score, because there's going to be a lot of emphasis, I would say, on Fulham trying to get an equalizer, and then holding on and hoping they can probably push this to into penalty kicks. I think that's going to be their mindset. I think that's what they're going to look to try to do. But what do you guys see as being the possible outcome, and what do you guys see as being the possible scorers in this game? Would love to see what you guys think. Love to see what you guys think. What do you guys have as being your scores in the 3-1 win? Okay, 3-1 win. I know I got into. I know I lost a couple of people by getting too into the music. He says, my favorite thing Eminem said that made me laugh is when he dissed Will Smith. Will Smith don't gotta cuss in his raps to sell records. Well, I do. So F him and F you too. Yeah, that is funny. It is funny. Will Smith took Will Smith took the Bill Cosby route of addressing. Bill Cosby used to be very harsh against, like, Eddie Murphy, for instance. Eddie Murphy and Bill Cosby did not get along. And this is before the scandal, the Bill Cosby scandal. But Bill Cosby and Eddie Murphy did not get along. Bill Cosby did not like the route that a lot of the new comics were doing, and he put it out there that he does not like what they're about. But Eddie Murphy was like, who cares, man? I'm gonna do what I gotta do. Eddie Murphy is my guy. I love Eddie Murphy. Pharoah Monch. Pharoah Monch was that guy. Wu-Tang Clan, of course. Shoot, man. I cannot think of it. I'm gonna have to think of that artist later on. So we got 3-1. KJ says 3-1. Also, he agrees with Brian. Honesty says 3-0. A lot of threes here, huh? Says 2-1 until 80th minute. Then we seal the deal. Okay. So you think possibly it's going to be what, 1-1, and then we'll score in that 80th minute? It's a high likelihood, very high likelihood. Honesty has Lucho. I would love to see Lucho get a goal. I would love to see Gravenberch get a goal as well. Diego is almost a given, when it comes to scoring for us as of late. But I'm also thinking I would like to see 3-1. Darwin with the brace, red for life. I like that. Get Darwin on that scoring tip. I would love to see that. And Brian has Elliot, Hackbo, and a defender. Oh, okay. Hey, if we can score off a set piece, we would be deadly. Let me repeat that. If we scored off of set pieces, we would be absolutely impossible to play. Let's have a result similar to what Arsenal was able to get yesterday or in their last game, I should say, with scoring off of set pieces. I think that would be monumental for us in really just getting solidified what it is the foundational blocks that we need for our team to really rock and roll. Yeah, I would love to see that. I would love to absolutely see that. M. Tarmizi has it as, oh wait, let me take some red for life first. Darwin is going to start cooking now. Just watch. Yes, I agree. I think he's already cooking, to be honest with you. He says Joe Gomez manifesting. Yes. How about this? How about Joe Gomez, as M. Tarmizi has referenced him as, getting our winner, our game winner. Joe Gomez gets our game winner. That would be great. I would love to manifest that too. And Brian says, if Darwin starts, he will probably score, but I have him rested tomorrow. I want to see, I know that I had Joe Gomez, or excuse me, not Joe Gomez, Darwin resting, or at least I think I had Darwin Nunez in the lineup either way. I have Diego being at the center spot. We'll see. I think it's going to be difficult to tell Darwin that we want to give him a rest, considering how hyped he was and how, like, sometimes when you're scoring, all you want to do is play. Then you look so forward to getting out there and play and just getting to being able to kick the ball. But I can understand why and what would be the reasoning behind it if we end up resting him. So tomorrow, as I mentioned yesterday, I most likely will be in Los Angeles. I don't necessarily have the A-OK to broadcast from Jack's, which is the bar or the boozer in LA. If you're ever in LA, that's one of the boozers that you can go to. I think there are two supporter bars in LA, but Jack's is and it's spelled Jax. Jack's is the boozer bar I go to in LA. The supporter boozer bar, it's a really cool boozer bar too. It's very like has couple. It's very very Irish boozer-esque when it comes to it is an Irish pub, I think, too. So but it's a good place to be. It's certainly a good place to be. What was the last comment he said here? Manifesting. Tony had too much time on his hands. Yeah. So tomorrow, let's see it happen. Let's manifest that. I like the manifestation of getting Joey Gomez a goal tomorrow. That'd be great. I would like to see Darwin continue his goal scoring affair. I would also like to see I'd like to see everyone have a good day tomorrow. So I will wish everyone a good day, good tidings, a top of the league to you, my Reds. Top of the league to you, my Reds. Let's continue our campaign of moving forward. It's going to be a very, very important game for us. Obviously, because hey, we're on the road to 10, right? On the road to 10. It would be great to see us do it. I like to see us do it as well. I appreciate it always. With my safe travels, I appreciate that, Brian. Big up to you, KJ. Hey, if you're out there and you have time, please do pass this on to as many people. It doesn't matter if they're Reds or not. Maybe we can convert them into being Reds, which is definitely the more ideal situation. But, if our hand says 7 in the UK, be sure to tune in to the Liverpool 12 Man show. Most likely, that is in case you don't have the notification bell put on. Please do put it on. Subscribe, comment, like, share. It's the essence of you'll never walk alone by doing those 4 things, certainly for me and for others in the community as well. So if you have the opportunity, definitely go out there and make it happen. Oh man, John, that's not what I want to see. Yeah, Middlesbrough, good luck to you against Chelsea. Push it. Let's get that goal and let's hopefully not have to face Chelsea in that final if we are so blessed to be there. But again, I will do my best effort to put together something tomorrow. Maybe I'll even try to do a show before or certainly maybe after tomorrow on my trip. But either way, big up to each and every one of you, each and every time. I wish you all a good day, and I will see you hopefully so after or before another Liverpool win. So let's get it. Let's manifest it. And until then, I say take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones, and See you soon. Definitely. Take care, guys.